It has been a real pleasure getting to know this truly remarkable woman and to become familiar with her incredible body of work. I've come to the conclusion, and I think you will, if you don't already know Rita, that we have in Rita Blitt a real treasure. So how can I describe her quickly? We have in Rita Blitt a multidimensional visual artist, a painter who has created monumental sculptures up to 60 feet tall. And she's also directed films inspired by her work. Rita often integrates the work of other art forms and collaborates from artists from multiple disciplines. Her work is exhibited in numerous museums across the US, as well as in multiple international locations. Rita's film, Caught in Paint, was shown in over 130 film festivals, winning many awards. And her most recent film, I think she did this in 2020, The Sun Still Shines, led to the Raleigh Film Festival naming Rita as Visual Artist of the Year. So that's a real honor. Today you're in for a very special treat, and more so because Rita's work and the processes that she uses to create this work are so well documented in films she's made over the years. And today we're going to have an opportunity to watch a number of film clips and a few short films in between conversations with her. So I want to formally welcome Rita Blitt. Say hello, Rita.
Hi, thank you, Pat. It's a treat being here.
There's so much we could discuss today, but let's first talk about a fantastic thing that happened more recently to Rita. Rita, you and I talked a few months ago about how critical it was for you to find a home where your works, as you said, can live together and be shared with the world. So can you share this wonderful story just to start us out today?
I would love to share that story, but first I just feel compelled to mention that with all my joy and with all our joy in life here, my heart goes out to the people of Ukraine, and I just have to recognize that pain and wish them well at this time. And then I'll tell you my excitement about having my legacy collection at the Mulvane Museum, Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas. When I got a call from the vice president asking me to if I would donate my collection to the gallery connected to their Performing Arts Center, I was absolutely overjoyed. My work is music, dance, and there's no better place for it than connected to the Performing Arts Center. So I'm quite thrilled.
That's such an honor. So we want to show the first formal film of this event. It's about 9 minutes, and it's called Around and Round, a painting, an exhibition, and a book. And it focuses on some of Rita's most important work in the collection that she donated to the Mulvane Museum. And it's described by its curator and director, Connie Gibbons. Connie gives, I think, a good overview of Rita's work as a painter. And right at the beginning of this film, you're going to see some of Rita's sculpture in the garden there. So let's watch the first video.
Around and Round features a little over 40 artworks that span a 70-year time frame of Rita Blitt's creative output. I wanted to talk about this particular painting, which is the title of the exhibit, Around and Round, because I think it exemplifies in so many ways the way Rita has worked through her life. Rita's earliest years as a painter, she was inspired by nature. She painted a lot of works of her family. Her work has changed so much over that 70-year period, but she constantly and consistently comes back to the same themes, the same kinds of marks and considerations that she's making on the surface of her works. In 1996, following the birth of her granddaughter, Doriana, she was so full of just excitement and joy over the birth of that child. And she began doing these huge canvases. Some of them were 12 feet wide, drawing with two hands, using paintbrushes in both her hands and coming up and making these incredible circular forms that you'll see in her work throughout her life. She would go through periods of time where she was just using the black on white. And by the time she gets to the mid-90s, she recognized that she wanted to bring color back into her paintings. You'll see it in Celebrating Doriana and some of the Aspen paintings that she was doing at that time. What Around and Round expresses for me as I look at it is this incredible discipline to put down this blue, see these colors start to run and walk away from it and know that it's complete. And I think you'll see that discipline in so many of the works that she's done throughout her life. I see Around and Round as an iteration of Rita's tendency as an artist to return again and again to the theme of the oval in her work, those circular forms that have a real womb-like feeling to them. And again, the use of these really bold lines and the introduction of color. In many ways, even though you might not think that looking at this particular painting, I think Rita Blitt is a colorist. She understands color and how color vibrates and changes the tone and the sense and how you might respond to a particular work of art. We've stepped back in time. These are some of the earliest works in the exhibition. Red Barn was done in 1958. Exodus was done in 1960. Rita's really painting more like an impressionist. She felt like she had to paint something that was recognizable, even though the surface treatment is really very loose and very expressionistic. You can really see her use of color in here that I think is so splendid, with these really bold reds and blues and yellows, and how vibrant they are and how well they connect everything across the surface. And the same thing with the Red Barn, how she's used color a little more subtly, but just as effectively. I thought it was important to point out on these works just how she uses line to divide the surface of her canvas, and what a strong element it is with the line of the fence. that use of her line, I think, really is a precursor to the kind of line that we see in her later years, although the lines that she started using later were much more fluid. I wanted to finish with this work. Dancing with the Universe was done in 2018, very recent. I think it really helps to bring us back to where we started with the Around and Round and Rita's use of those black, bold strokes on white surface. One thing I think is so splendid about Rita's work is just the confidence. When she approaches a blank piece of paper, she can immediately articulate very quickly and without mistakes the dancer moving through space or the music that she's hearing. Or her feelings for her family, or just her spirit. We started with Around and Round, but we come back to the same place where we started, and that's Rita Blitt's work. That's what she's done for 70 years. Around and Round, she comes back again and again.